All right, there we go. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, awesome. Hello, 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 everyone. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, incredible greetings. How are you guys doing? Let's talk about Canva, baby. Wait, no, I can't say because let's talk about sex. So let's talk about Canva. Let's talk about Canva. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about it. Hey. How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, good people? All right, let me see here. Let me see. Uh-oh, hold on one second. Wait, is this real? Um, I got to send this to my best friend. Oh wow. Pinky Cole, really? Oh wow. Okay. But hello, everyone. We are going to talk about Canva, Canva, Canva. I'm trying to share that. Some caught me off guard. I'm trying to share this out with y'all, and something caught me off guard. So I'm just like, oh, wow. Okay. So let's go ahead, get this all shared out. As you guys come in, drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know who's on, who's watching. Drop a hey, how you doing? As you guys come in, all right? Ooh, excuse me, why? Let me go ahead and just get this all shared out. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. So now let me go to my name so that we can share this out. So share. We're going to do the highlight. Or can I only put that in comments? I'm not sure. Oh, no, there we go. Hey, creative and crafty peeps. Join me to talk all things Canva. All right, cool beans. So we're gonna share. Actually, you know what? Let me highlight this so that I can share it to the groups. I don't have to copy and. I mean, I don't have to retype. I can just copy and paste. So we're gonna go share, and then we're gonna go to groups, and we're gonna go boom and boom and boom. Next, we're gonna go ahead and drop that tag or that caption. All right, there we go. We are all set up. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products, as well as all of the teachings that you can think of, from Silhouette Studio, Photoshop, Canva, of course, foam board, party favors. We've done memorials. We've done how to create your own SVGs. We have business classes. I have been teaching for 11 years. I have, let me see, my son will be 15 this year. So about 18 years experience of entrepreneurship, 26 years of experience when it comes to designing and like making customized items such as buttons and keychains and screen printing and shirts and all the things. So I'm always having a lot to be able to share. I'm like the go-to for every person who, once they find me, it's like they want to inbox me, ask questions. They're in the classes because I know a whole lot about a whole lot. But today we are going to discuss Canva because it is the new wave of, I guess you would say, like programs for those in the creative space. But there are a lot of people who are like, I just don't know where Canva fits in for me. Like, I'm doing really well with Silhouette Studio. I'm doing well with Photoshop. I don't know where Canva will fit into my creative life. So that's one of the things that I do want to talk about, like how can you utilize Canva and take advantage of Canva and work it into whatever it is that you're doing. It doesn't have to necessarily be for all of your actual like design needs. You can use it on the back end for businesses. That's where I feel like it shines, and where many of you can start with learning to use Canva, and it will then trickle over to you using it for projects and like making banners and yard signs and tray table designs and stoles and all the kind of good jazz when you learn to navigate it for your business, for reels, for carousels, for thumbnails. If you have a website, you can create your thumbnail there. There's just so many, so many, so many options before you even tap into the AI, like a lot of the major AI components where you can create like apps and games and all sorts of things. You can create a website via Canva. There's a lot of options. And the same way that you would create a design for a shirt, you will go through those same design principles to create a website. You just have to know like the layout that you want, and knowing like if you see something, okay, well, that's a rounded rectangle or a rounded square, I need to create that. If you needed something with a little shadow to it, if you wanted something, where the transparency is down, it's about knowing how to use those tools and features to get that look. But as far as what you can create, the possibilities are endless. You can go and create um like they call it like mind maps, and you're just mapping certain things out like with the whiteboard, and you're brainstorming your ideas. Like when I say there's so much, I dare you to challenge me and ask me a question, or mention something, put it in the chat, and you want to know if like it's capable of doing it. Now, Canva is meant to be more of plug and play, where you're bringing in things, you're kind of arranging them. You can, of course, adjust colors and make certain adjustments based off of like the apps and things that are available. But it is not a program where you're going to go and do like clipping mask, or you're going to do cropping, or you're going to do subtracting, welding, things of that nature. You're not going to be able to do it natively in Canva. Now, if you did something where you had like two pieces together, you go and you save it as a JPEG or a PNG, then yes, they're going to say when you bring it back in, it's going to seem like it's one element and it's not two. You won't have the option to ungroup, but you also can't, like turn that into an SVG. A lot of people think because it says save as an SVG, that means that it's automatically vectorizing it and, automatically making it an SVG or a vector file, and that's not the case. So these are all the little things that people just kind of don't know. They bypass when it comes to learning Canva. And these are things I want you guys to know. Yes, we do have a training course where we go step by step. Today's session was absolutely friggin' amazing. But I come on to be able to help you guys. Maybe you missed that session because it's 11 a.m. Or, it's always also marketing. And this is a way for you guys to know what we have to offer and how we can help you. But in this moment, we're just going to talk about Canva. I'm going to answer some of your questions, tag a friend. Let's get the algorithm up. If you all can like the video, if you're watching over on Facebook, go ahead and give the video a like. Hey, Phyllis, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you so much for watching. All right. Ow. Let's see. Patricia, how art thou? Greetings. T, hello. How are you? Oh, so you said Silaholics. Yes, that is me, Silaholics Anonymous. I don't do as many. I don't know. Like I really feel like people should learn Silhouette Studio, but I haven't been doing as many like silhouette trainings. I feel like I've done everything. I don't think there's anything new under the sun that I haven't done. And if I'm being honest, a lot of the things that you guys do, like I no longer do. Like even though I have what 9 different silhouette machines, I don't do a lot of the things that I used to because I'm not like into like event planning and making invitations and those things. Like I mainly teach now, but almost everything that I've done with it, it's on a video on Soloholics. So make sure you guys are going to watch that old content. But if there's anything in particular that you really, 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 really would like to see again, just go ahead, shoot me a line, let me know, and we'll do our best to try and get that, get that going for you. Okay. All right. Shamita, hello. Welcome, welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us and for tapping in with us. So before I kind of just dive into it, I do want to know if there's any, like, who here is already using Canva, who's not. So go ahead, put a 1 in the chat if you are using Canva, put a 2 in the chat if you have downloaded it, you have it but you're not really using it. Put a 3 in the chat if you have not even downloaded Canva whatsoever. So let's talk a little bit before we fully jump into Canva. Okay, so I see a couple ones using it. So Skill Sync, hello, thank you. So you have it downloaded, but you're not quite using it. Okay. Let's see who else over here. Okay, so I see another one right here. Are you guys using it to create actual like designs for your customized services and products, or are you using it for the back end of your business? So I see Cunning Creations, you are using it. Okay. Are you guys using it like every day? Are you like, have you gotten to the point where you are an addict? I probably should have done like I did so, or maybe I shouldn't say that because maybe someone's going to take it. Let me go secure that domain right now. Y'all know I love to secure a domain. I'm about to go secure that domain right now. I'm okay. So Michelle says, I'm learning. Okay. So some of you, a good number of you guys who have started using it already. We have some people that say, hey, I'm still learning. I'm using it to create designs daily for designs and for presentations for my classroom. Now I love good. Now look, I love a good presentation. Okay. I was definitely a PowerPoint girl. I feel like, I mean, there are some things that are slightly different. There's some features that I do miss about PowerPoint, but Canva definitely gets the job done. And I like that I can design on the go. And it's all like within the same. I mean, of course, the mobile is a little bit different than the desktop, but I really, really like that, like being able to edit things on the fly, even before if I see a little mistake, I can correct that before it even hits the screen. Like that's really dope. Like I'm definitely all about the presentations. What are some of the challenges you guys are experiencing when it comes to Canva? What are those things that make you want to pull out your edges when working with Canva? And I know there's a slight delay in when I'm speaking and like when you guys hear it. So I'll give you guys a moment to actually be able to answer that. What are some of the challenges you guys face with Canva? Getting the measurements correct. Okay. What are some things that you create? So I saw you put that I'm using it to create designs. So getting the measurements correct. What are you like? Give me just an example of some of the things that you are creating. So that maybe we'll start there as far as like how measurements work and things of that nature. Did you get caught up in the TV trays and them being the wrong size and too big? Is that one of your measurement issues? Or is it like for t-shirts? Is it for tumblers? Like, what are some things that you create that you're having issues with the measurements? Like, is it a specific shape or specific outline, like it has to fit? Or are we just kind of doing general ones and then blowing it up? Yeah, from there. And that's anyone can answer. I would love to know what it is that you guys create using Canva. Okay. So designing, not knowing when and where to put things at um I guess so that's like more the designing part. So that's not really like we were talking about this yesterday. It's not really like a Canva thing. That becomes a designing because if you were to go into Photoshop, if you were to go into Cricut Design Space, if you were to go into Silhouette Studio, you will go into Affinity. You're still going to run into that. So that's not necessarily like learning Canva. Like you need to learn designing to understand composition and layout and to make it look balanced and things like that. So that's more of a design one. So you're making cards, flyers, party favors. Okay. Thank you guys so very much for those. Hey, Shakia, I'm creating flyers, so event flyers. Okay. Hey, Trina. Banners, fans, yes, t-shirts and tumblers. So the banners, you're having issues with the measurement. Is it that once you design the banners, is it that you're sending it to a print shop? And is it what they're saying that the file is blurry? Are they saying like when I know some people they'll upload to like DTF gang sheet, like creators, and they'll get the warning that says, okay, this resolution is too low. Is that areas where you are finding measurement issues? So when it comes to the fans, like, is that one of the ones that you're having measurement issues? Hey, Velma, how are you? Long time no see. Okay, so templates and PNGs. All right. Okay, the measurements are off. Okay, what's the last size banner that you tried to create and the measurements were off? When it comes to your fans, are you doing print and cut fans or are you creating designs where you're going to put it onto like some type of substrate? So let's say like it's about to be graduation season and a lot of people use like not the graduation, the Dollar Tree paddles. Is it something like that where you have like a hard substrate and your design needs to fit on there? Or is it ones that you're going to save and you're going to take to like Cricut Design Space or Silhouette Studio, or you're going to take it over to Leonardo to cut with your Caesar machine? Is it a print and cut one, or is it one that you're going to either print out a decal and put it on a substrate or maybe even sublimate? And these are for anyone. I would love to know your frustrations, what's going on. Try and be as detailed as possible. Hopefully you guys are at home. You're able to really get this learning so that you're not frustrated after this session. And then if you want to take it a step further and really kill the game, you are going to enroll in our Canva training. Okay. So let's see here. Hey, Myrna. All right, so slides for the display on the TV at church, flyers, stickers, donor cards, invitation banners, life-size signs of a person. Okay. Um, I couldn't download my files when I recorded a head voice. What do you mean? Like, so when you did like a voiceover, you weren't able to download it once you had a voiceover and you're adding that audio in it. Did you do like what, an AI voiceover in Canva? Wait, I'm trying to get as much on here because sometimes like when I go to talking and then you guys stop. So I'm trying to get as many like kind of teaching points as possible um, to be able to help you guys. So stick around. I'm going to answer and help it for everyone that has put an issue that they are having. I'm going to show you how to correct that issue. Okay. All right. So I am designing the yard sign and it's a large one at the size of 6 feet tall. And when I take it to Walgreens to print it for me, Walgreens will tell me that the measurements are off by inches. So 6 feet tall, but how wide is it? How are you making it like a square? Or are you wanting to like yeah, so what's going to be that measurement? I'm going to for this just really quick because it's going to be a little bit easier for me to show it because you have a limited space. Although we're going to talk about Canva, I am temporarily going over to Silhouette Studio so that I can just show and it's like it's easier for me to show it there versus Canva, okay? To explain size because that's not necessarily a Canva, like just a Canva thing. So yes, I'm making it a square. Are you setting that up yourself, like setting that design file up yourself? Or did you go for like, did you use a template that someone had? Because you mentioned yard signs. So yard signs, typically we're designing them at 18 by 24. So did you get maybe a template that was 18 by 24? And then once you want to go and make it 6 feet and make it 6 feet by 6 feet, it's not working. So is that one of maybe the issues like you had a pre-designed one and now you're trying to make it into a 6 foot square? Okay, I figured as much. Okay, perfect. You got a template. So I'm going to explain this to you as far as what's happening, right? So that's not necessarily a Canva thing. This is what happened, like no matter what you design in. I'll go and find one of my templates. So we're just going to go, not to one of the designs that I've done. So we're going to do that. Yes, and I did try to make it a 6 foot square. All right, so let me show you what's technically happening with that. Okay. What are you doing? All right, I don't know what's going on. I think I've been downloading a bunch of stuff, and that to me, that's one of the downsides sometimes of Canva is how much you got to download. Because see, when I'm designing in Silhouette Studio and I'm designing in Photoshop, I save to my various hard drives. Like I got a couple of them. But whenever we're downloading from Canva, that is going into my downloads folder. And so then my PC ends up being like it's full and it takes forever and it drags and it drives me insane. All right. So, oh, this was from yesterday. I'm telling y'all, mind you, when I was talking about yesterday, as soon as I walked out and I got off live, it all popped up. So if you were on yesterday when I was talking about this, and someone was asking about like a tree, and I'm like, I've done different, things or whatever. So this was that one I did for an order. And so it was like the tree, and these were all of the children basically. And so everybody has like a branch, right? And then what I did for, so this person right here is the one who, she got the shirt. So she had this on hers. Everyone else, didn't really have that. So this was the one where everybody had this. And then I think they wanted to do this one for the second year. So basically what I did was I took this exact branch, so I end up breaking this off. And that's exactly how this one is set up. So on the back, this represented her branch and then her children. And then there were leaves. So I put a leaf, things like that. So it represented her branch. So that's kind of how I did that family tree. This is what I was trying to show y'all yesterday, but it wouldn't come up, Chad. So let's come back over here. Actually, no, I need to go find a yard sign template. Or I don't know. I don't ever say template. Y'all got me saying template. I'm going to go find one of my yard sign designs. Okay, you know what? We will open up. This is the one that we designed. That was 2024 when we designed this in the grad master's program. Oh my God. I don't know why I thought I did this in 2025. So let's go yard sign. I didn't know I did that. So you see, I have a lot of different yard signs. I've been doing yard signs for many years. Let's go to, all right, which one do we want? I want to open up one of the ones that we just did in class, because then it's like none of my actual like client pictures. We just, okay, here we go, right here. All right, we're going to open that up. So not the AI voice. You did a regular voiceover and it did not download when you, so what did you download it as an MP4? When you download, did you download it as an MP4? Okay, so here is the design. We're going to make this box. So what 6 by 6, whenever you're doing the measurements, you're going to go in, you're going to multiply that. So you're going to go 12 times 6. That is going to make it 72. That's what you really should be putting into your into Canva as well. I want you to take notes. Do y'all have a pen and paper? This is going to be very important because I guarantee most of you guys did not know this or realize this about Canva. All right, let me know when y'all ready. Put ready in the chat when you're ready for me to give you your first note and your first lesson about how Canva works, okay? Put ready in the chat when you're ready. Okay, so I see the readies. All right, ready? Canva defaults to 96 DPI. Now, when you're sending designs to printers, there a lot of times their systems, especially when it comes to those DTF gang sheets, they are set by default to 300 DPI. So when you're, even if you make it like in, like, let's say like in inches, right? It is going to technically say, like, if this was done in inches, well, if this was converted to pixels, right? We're going to go 72 times 96. So that means if you wanted something to be 6 feet, it's going to convert to 6,912. What their system is looking for, because everybody and their mama for some reason sets their stuff to 300 DPI. Now 300 DPI is when you need to blow it up, but if you are designing it to scale, it doesn't have to be 300 DPI. You don't have to abandon it. If you know that you designed it to scale in the proper like sizing and they're not having to blow it up, you only have to worry about that if what you designed then needs to be increased. But if you designed it at the proportional, like at the right size, you don't have to worry about that. What their system is looking for is 72 times 300. It's looking for the resolution when it pulls up to be 21,600. But by saving it, and they don't let you do, a lot of times don't let you do PDF where you can kind of increase it and things of that nature. When you're saving it, you are defaulting it to, when you're saving it, it's going to be what I said, 6,912. That's a really big difference. So this is why you get that warning symbol saying that the resolution is off. Okay. So how you're designing in Canva, because you're using Canva, it's not like when we go into Photoshop and we are able to put, whatever the size is, and our resolution is 100 DPI or 200 or 300 or 400 or 500, 72, whatever. When I'm designing for billboards that are digital, we don't design at 300. That file is going to be too big. It's never going to upload. There are times and there are going to be projects where you are not going to design at 300 DPI, and you have to know how to properly convert it. We do have a conversion chart. I'm going to drop the link for it. If you don't know anything about conversion charts, I'll go ahead and drop that. But we have a conversion chart so that you can have the right pixels, or you can always do your math on it. But there are going to be times when I design for billboards, it's at 72. We don't design at 300 DPI because that file, you see the difference in that? That's a really, really large file. So we don't design in 300 DPI. We come lower. So we're going to take this and put it here, right, in the corner. If I'm making this a square, we're going to come like this. And if I end up making this file 6 feet wide, it is only going to take up about 54 inches in height. So now all of this doesn't fill in. In order for it to fill in, you would end up like they would probably try to stretch it. Now it looks crazy. It's not how you designed it, because you're stretching it out proportionately. 6 feet tall will only be about 54 inches in height. You would have needed to design this. Let me go ahead and just move this. I'm going to go ahead and, this is, I can't do that one. Okay, this is the one that is all layered. That one was, what's what I'm looking for? It was flattened already. I had saved that as a JPEG. So I'm going to bring this back here. And we are teaching Canva, y'all. So if you're just coming on, like, why does it say let's learn Canva, but she over here in Silhouette Studio? Because I have an infinite amount of space to work with to explain what explain like what she described as her issue. I'm doing it over here in Silhouette Studio because I have more space, and it's gonna be easier to explain. Okay. So I'm gonna click off my background. Actually, I'm just gonna move this, and I'm gonna make that color. We're gonna take our graduates, or toss in their hats. We're gonna bring that down. We're gonna bring this down. Now we want to grab all of this, bring this down here. Now I technically cannot just make this bigger, because if I make this bigger to fit all the way up here, I now don't have enough room for her name. The way that I did this, it kind of automatically cut off. I would, need to like readjust this to where I have more of the circle. Even if I make it a little bit bigger, it's kind of cutting her off. So this was designed in a certain way to fit it was designed in a way to fit the proportion of 18 by 24. Well, dang. All right, let's go all the way over here. Okay, I don't have the James. Let me zoom in, child, because I'm tired of. All right. Okay, group. Okay, that was everything. So see, I designed this based off of the width of a 18 by 24. But now when it's in a square, this layout doesn't fit. It doesn't fill the space out the same. Well, you see how this, you see the amount of negative space above her head. So now if I go and I do that with this, and I can either make it a little bit smaller because I made this one bigger. I now have all this extra space here, right? Her head was kind of covering that spot. Now I could go in and bring this down some, but then our top piece would have to be longer. And then this part, I can only go so big. It was designed to where it fills in that space. Now I might be able to just take the 2024 and the red zebra, and I can probably make that a little bit bigger like that. Maybe move class of. like maybe make that just a little bit smaller, but I still have all of this extra, like this extra space. So I would have to figure out something else to fill it. But this layout is now very different than what it was here. So this is what's happening with yours. And it comes, so that's not necessarily just a measurement thing. It's understanding how designs work. Going from something that is a long rectangular design to something that is square, even your design itself now changes orientation and what fills in where. So you would have to completely reset it. And again, it's not going to look the same way that it did when it was a rectangle. Make sense? Let me know if you're tracking. Let me know if that helps. If you've never heard like that explained to you that way, go ahead and put a 4 in the chat. That's for anyone. If you've never been in a training session, you've never seen a tutorial or understood about sizing, put a 4 in the chat. Okay, so I see some 4s. So like I said, what the size that you will be able to do would be 6 feet, but your height would only be 54, unless you wanted it stretched out like this, which that's not what we want. So you would have to be okay with 72 inches by 54. Okay, but a 6 by 6 would not work if you're going off of a template that was designed for that orientation. So that's not a Canva issue. It's a knowledge issue of just knowing how designs work. So now you can probably go in there and rearrange it and you'll probably have to add some things to it. That always works, when you're just adding some things to the design, just to fill out so you don't have to make certain areas so big, and things of that nature. Okay. But this is why, like, when I'm teaching design, I teach design based on whatever it is we are designing, because composition and layout is determined by the ratio, like the size of it, the orientation of whatever you're creating, the shape of whatever you are creating. Okay. All right. So let's see. Who was the other person? My measurements are off. Oh wait, you were the only one that over here on the YouTube feed that listed a problem that you, oh no, so now we have the, someone said when they're downloading their files, like, okay, when you're saying you couldn't download it, would it not download at all, or it just didn't download and the audio was included? Did an error message come up? Did it just take forever? What happened with that? All right, let's see over here. Do we see anyone who had an issue that we have to work through? I don't see any on there. Let me check here. Okay, so hers is more of a design issue, so not necessarily a Canva. That's not a Canva issue. It's a designing. So not knowing when and where to put things. So you were designing cards, flyers, and like favors. Tell me if you're still on, Michelle, what was like the last thing that you designed and you were having a hard time figuring out elements? What was the last thing that you designed and you were having a hard time figuring out the elements and where to move things at? So we're going to go back to Canva for this one, okay? While we're waiting for that, I will come over here and show, if you don't know about custom size, you can click on custom size and you can either design in pixels. Remember, it's 96. So you want to do the math on that. There is a limitation because, again, it is to 96. When you go to inches, it tells you what the max number of inches are, basically at 96. And that's also going to correlate with your max pixels. So if I put 90, I'm going to get an error because the max is 83.328. And I'm going to put 40. Well, I'll put 83. Oh, and then this is 32. So now when I go to pixels, the max, remember I talked about, oh, if you were doing 6 feet, you have your pixels going to be 21,000 pixels. Well, you can't even do that here. It's 7,968, give or take, probably about to maybe 8,000 because I didn't do like the decimals. This is the largest pixel size you can make as far as creating your design. That's why it's important to know the size. Even if you are converting it back down to 96, you want to go like as big as possible. So you might be able to do it at 100, but once it get the size of it is too big, you have to kind of go off of that 96 or just go off of the size in inches. I know was helping someone the other day, and they were like, oh, well, it came out blurry. Well, when they created their design, it technically was only 1 inch tall. And they were trying to blow it up for it to be 6 inches or 6 feet. And that was off because they designed it too small. A lot of times people will come in here, they'll go to presentation. We have to remember, with anything presentation, this is optimized. The size of that template, when you click on that, that is optimized for showcasing on a screen, a computer screen, maybe even a TV screen, phone screen, but it's not for you to take that and blow it up. So it's going to be off. As a print shop, I just had a client. They came on here. Canva's great, right? There's all these amazing templates for gift cards and gift certificates. So they went on here. They went and searched for gift certificates, right? So let's go here. They're going to search for gift certificate. And I'm going to choose I'm going to choose any of them. So I'm going to go here. And this is only 5.5 by 4.3. So 5.5 inches by 4.3. They wanted this blown up to a 24-inch print. Well, because it's already 96, that's technically a lower resolution. And it's only 5 inches. So now when you're taking that and you're blowing it up to 24, it is going to be pixelated. And I had all these color halos and things like that. When I'm looking at it on the screen, it looks perfect. But when I sent it over to my Roland BN20 to go and print it out, it was all it had color halos because this was too small. I would have needed to I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say customize the template. You do need Pro, but you would go to resize. We're going to go to custom size, and I would lock this, and I'm going to change this. So I'm going to make my width 24. It's going to automatically adjust my height. It made it where it's a little bit bigger. So I'll probably unlock it and then just go 18 by 24. Because that's the size I was trying to but should be a little bit based off of this to be a little bit high. But I'm just going to type in 18 by 24. We're going to go ahead and resize this design. It's not going to look like anything changed. See, it just said page resize. But what changed is the number of pixels that's there for this particular file because we made it bigger. So it's as simple as going in and resizing. There are so many people that don't even touch their resize. Go ahead and put a number 5 in the chat if you have never used the resize feature in Canva. Oh man, why is my Facebook is so far back? Oh wow. Hopefully other people aren't watching and they're way back when I was showing Solar Studio. So I see a 5. This is why my trainings are needed. If you want to try it out for just 7 days, I'm telling you, you want to get in my training, because these are things that you're not seeing in groups. You're not talking about it. They're not talking about it on like the average tutorial. They're just going into design. I've sat into in a lot of people's classes. They don't really go into sizing. They never touch resize so that you can have the right. And I get emails, I get inboxes every day. Please, professor, help me, help me. Like, I don't know what's going on. Walgreens said it's not working. My file is too big. I don't waste so much money getting these prints done. Every time I do it, I think I'm changing it. I go off of what they told me to do in the group, and it's still not coming out right. And I'm like, okay, let's go over here. Let's do da-da-da-da. Depending on what the question is, a lot of the times, it's as simple as a resize. But they've never, ever, 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 ever touched that feature. Never even heard anyone talk about that feature. This is why you need to be in my Canva class. Drop Canva if you want the link, okay? All right, so I was waiting to see, was it that it just didn't download or take forever, or did it download and the audio was absent? But I don't see that response. Okay, let's see. Anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns, something that you would like for me to address, show, break down for you? Is there anyone else that would like for me to break down something before I kind of just start going over some basic things in Canva? All right, T, there you go. I see Canva. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link. Hopefully it works while we're live. If not, come back. I'll make sure that I put it in the comment section of the playback on there. Okay. You're very welcome. If this has been helpful for you so far, please, 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 I'm asking you to go ahead, hit the thumbs up, hit the like or a reaction, whether it's a like, it's a heart, help the algorithm. You're on watching and you're enjoying this, but maybe you don't have a question. But there is somebody that is struggling. They are so frustrated. They are ready to just slam their iPad, like drop kick their computer because they are frustrated. They are asking a question in a group right now, and all the answers that they're getting is not helping them in any way, shape, or form. They keep trying and they're just getting frustrated and frustrated and frustrated. They need to be on this live to get help, even if you are not in need of help right now. There is somebody. So help somebody else discover this amazing platform to be able to get the help that they need. Okay. All right, so I see one here. Mary Jones says, I tried to print a picture 8.5 by 11, but it doesn't print that size. It prints smaller. Okay. So we know that, okay, Canva, we can't print from it. We have to take it into a design platform, or if you're going to do PDF, you can print from that, right? So that's going to be one, determining where you're going to print from. Now, what I hear when I hear, like, from what I'm hearing from you and putting this out, this is how I'm processing it. When you say that it's printing smaller, are you saying that it's printing smaller because there is a white border around it and it's only printing in the middle? That's a good question, Myrna. When you resize it, is it necessary to upscale the image? Absolutely not. Most of the times, you guys are bringing in 300 DPI images. And here's something that you may not know. You may want to write this down as a note. You can bring in something that you know was saved as a high resolution. It was saved at 300 DPI. You are now bringing that into a program that defaults to 96. When you upload it into Canva, you are technically instantly reducing the quality of that image. It leaves a big border at the bottom. Okay, so here, can you tell me which printer you're using? Which printer are you using? So I took that big one and I made it 8.5 by 11. And look at how it resized all of these elements, because now that doesn't fit. Like, it's a different proportion. Come on, stop it. So now I need to go in and rearrange this. So we're going to put you here. We'll select all of you. Well, let's go and move you down. Oops. Let's move you down here. Let's select all of this. Let's make it a little bit bigger so it fills in the middle. Free ice cream. Let's take our expires before. Okay, so we'll put that. We'll take this, put this here, maybe resize. Let's put this in the corner. Take this, put it right here. And we're going to do our free ice cream. All right, so we had to just reorient this. And just so that that's not black, I'm going to go ahead and make it, let's do that one. Okay, boom, right? So now we have something that is 8.5 by 11. I am going to purposely move this over and down. Okay, so you have an Epson 3820. Now let's go and look at the specs of that printer. Most people, when they're teaching you and you're in these classes, you're asking questions, they don't care about what printer you have, because this is not ET, so a workforce. So these are important things. So a 3820. So we're going to go Epson Workforce 3820, because you said it left a big box at the bottom. Now, most Epson printers, let me ask you this. Did you install the drivers? A lot of people don't install their drivers and they're printing like regular as is. When you install the drivers, you have 0.125. That's what your standard margin is. Epson printers gives you the most space. Like my Canon, the default for that, even if you make it narrow, because some of my printers, you cannot print borderless. So even if I make it narrow, it is going to make, like, the default is 0.25. So that's double the size of the Epson printers when you have installed the drivers. If you don't install the drivers, you probably have it at the default, and so it's leaving 0.25 around the bottom. Okay, so we're going to come here. We're going to look at this one. So I'm going to see like what it says quickly. I'm going to come here. I just want to look up the specs to see if it supports borderless printing for small format, like, or is it, because a lot of these printers will say borderless, but they're not borderless for like the max size, like 8.5 by 11. They're borderless for things like 5 by 7, 4 by 6, like things of that nature, and not 8.5 by 11. Okay. So we're going to come here and we're going to look at the, this one doesn't have, okay, so let's go to product home. Okay. Oh, I know this one. We have one that's similar to this. So, no, thank you, Emma. I don't require your assistance right now. So we're going to go all in one, built for speed, high volume, auto two-sided printing. I don't see, let's see, seamless scanning, I am not seeing anything about borderless printing. So tray, two-sided, touchscreen. touch screen, I don't see anything. So this is not a borderless printer where you can print borderless. So no matter what, you are going to have, I'm going to come down here and just kind of see, just make sure. It'll normally tell you if it is borderless for any type of paper and things of that nature. So let's see specifications. Oh man, it's going to make me download a PDF. That sucks. That sucks. I got to download the PDF. All right, so precision, maximum, easy to use, seamless scanning, All right, same thing. I don't see anything about borderless printing, but we're gonna kind of scroll and see. Okay, so print, it tells you, okay, that's the print speed, two-sided, the droplet size, okay, fax, paper handling. Okay, there we go. So we do have borderless. It tells you right here, the borderless sizes, and this, like, trust me, someone asked me earlier, do you have this printer, baby? I don't need to. I am the printer whisperer. I know printers. I'm obsessed with printers. I have been doing print. There's so many different printers that I have touched. I understand how printers work. So when I say the ET 15,000, it sucks balls and nobody should buy it, that's exactly what I mean. I don't think she really, like, that person, they wanted somebody that so-called had experience, but I'm the better person because I have everybody bringing me their issues about their printers. So I have a front row seat to all of the issues that these printers will have. I know printers, okay? And I knew that this would be the case. So let me see if I can zoom in for you so you can see this. So right here, it tells you the only borderless sizes is 3.5 by 5, 5 by 7, 4 by 6, and 8 by 10. So if you set it up for borderless for 8 by 10, if that is what you did, but it's 11 and you're saying you were left with like a large space at the bottom, it's because it's only going to do 8 by 10. You still would have had some stuff around the sides if it was 8.5 by 11. If it did that for you, it would cut off 1 inch because the max they have for borderless is 8 by 10. It is not going to do an 8.5 by 11 borderless. Okay? Well, actually, no, I take that back. I see letter. So make sure I take it back. I take it back. So you can't do 8.5 by 14, even though it prints 8.5. So these are all the sizes. So you have letter, legal, half letter, executive. So when you're looking at this one, you don't have those here. So I take that back. When I saw A4, I was like, wait a minute, how they have A4 but they don't have? So I take that back. They do have letter. So you want to make sure that it is set to borderless. I'm going to show you from one of mine what that looks like when you go borderless. So we're going to go here, we're going to click, and we're going to go over to the Epson. So this is the one that's like a regular one. I don't know if I have borderless on this one though. So we're going to go preference. Uh-oh, what happened? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I don't know where it went. Now it's stuck. Oh, great. What happened? I have no idea what happened to. Why did it? That's weird. Okay. Alrighty. Hopefully we'll be able to come back to it where I'll be able to show you borderless. But let's go back to Canva for a quick second. So we have this one, right? And I want to be able to save it because I'm going to go show print preview. So we're going to go share. We're going to download it. And I'm going to go ahead and just download this as a JPEG. I'm also going to come back in and do it as a PDF just so that you can see that also. So we're going to go just page 2. And we're going to go ahead and go done and download that. I'm going to do it again. Download. I'm going to change this to PDF. It's page 2. We're not compressing it. We're not flattening. We're not going to do any of those. We're going to go ahead and download that. All right. Now that I have the PDF, I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to see if I can do it from here since the other one is acting crazy. And we're going to go to print. All right, so here is my one of my cannons, and if you go fit, it will. Dang it! Can you see? Can y'all think y'all can see that? Huh? So it says fit, but it's leaving off like areas at the top. I'm gonna go to properties, and I want to go preview before printing. So 8.5 by 11, same as paper size. I cannot choose anything borderless. Like there is no borderless option here for that. Now, if I go, let's say 4 by 6, I'm not sure if it'll show up for, actually, I don't think it's this one. I think it's my 4,000 one that can go borderless. This one, if I'm not mistaken, does not go borderless at all. But oh no, here we go. So I do have borderless, so I'm going to go there. And so I have all these stipulations on this one. So it says borderless printing is not recommended when using plain paper. When plain paper is selected, choose photo glossy. So okay, whatever. So I'll choose photo glossy. All right, so there's photo glossy. I'm going to come back to 8.5 by 11, and we're going to go. So we're going to go here. Which one though? So am I on the wrong one that doesn't have borderless? So we're gonna go okay. And then did I hit preview? Let me make sure I hit print. Okay, preview, okay. And then I'm gonna go print. And then it's gonna show me how it's going to print. So this is what I wanted to show. Here on my design, move out the way now. You see how much space I have here? You see how much space I have here, right? Well, when I go over to this print preview, it is going to cut that section off. The way that almost every single printer works when it comes to borderless printing, it does not print it as is. Every single printer, it's going to expand it and it's going to cut it off. I should have way more space underneath, but this is all the space that I have. I should have full squares. The squares are cut off. On this side, the squares are cut off because it is going to expand it. It is never going to print it as is. So you have to design, like if you want it to print that way, you have to design with what we call safe zones. Now, if you go in and we're going to cancel the print, I'm going to go back to print here. We are going to go, now it's showing me from here. All right, we're going to go more settings, print on both sides. I don't want that. I want you to open up well, why are you opening up these settings? I don't want this. More settings. I don't like this. Okay, there we go. Now we're here. I'm going to go and make sure that we don't have borderless selected. We're going to go, okay, more settings. I got to make sure that print preview, boom, there's print preview. We're going to go, okay. And then we're going to go print, and we should get a print preview. And you see how, now you said yours was thicker at the bottom, but on mine, you see it's really thin here, but on the side, on the bottom, they are about the same, but it's also cutting it off. I'm going to cancel that. We're going to go back into print. We're going to go into more settings. We're going to click here. We're going to go more settings. Come on. All right. So same as page size. So you can either select it. We're going to go standard. It's portrait. We're going to go to media. We have all of that set. We're going to go to page setup. Making sure we don't have any type of zoom on it. All right, and go here, okay, print. See, it's cutting it off because it only when you make your design, what is it, 8.5 by 11, that part that's at the bottom for 11 is going to get cut off. It's not going to print all of it. This is worse than like when it was borderless. So I want to go back in. I want to do the one where we're going to fit basically to page. So we'll go here. Remember, it asked me that. So settings, we're going to go scale. I'm going to go fit to printable area. Okay. That shrunk it. I have more space at the top. My sides are a little bit thinner. And then I have all this space at the bottom. I don't even have to go into print preview because you're going to see exactly how this is going to print. Now I have that spacing. I don't have the cutoff of my squares. So this is more about like your printer than anything. I'm going to come here. We're going to go see more. Let's see if it'll let me do it from here, since from Silhouette Studio it was acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'll go XP. Let's see if it'll let me do it. It's not gonna, because that printer's not on. That's why it was doing that. That printer is in the other room, so it's not on for me. Okay, let's try this one. And you can see how thin it is for an Epson. I'm gonna go to, if I go default, and it goes all the way out, when you go to print it, it's going to cut it off. You need to put your design inside of a safe zone based off of the margins to make sure that nothing gets cut off. The only way that you can design a 8.5 by 11 and have it truly be 8.5 by 11 is to print it on paper that is larger than 8.5 by 11. Normally, the next size up is 11 by 17. Yes, so sometimes we waste an entire 11 by 17 sheet of paper to be able to print one 8.5 by 11, and then you're going to cut it down. Or we might use 12 by 18 so that we can fit 2 to a page, and then we go to trim it. We trim it down to 8.5 by 11 to have a true size. But that's kind of how it works in the print world. We print larger paper, we cut it down. Okay? So that's, again, not necessarily a Canva issue. There's nothing that you're doing in Canva. You're designing it correctly. Your mistake in Canva is not having safe zones and making sure that your design fits within those safe zones so that when you trim it, everything shows and should be how it should look. It's just not, the final size just will not be 8.5 by 11. Does that make sense to you guys? If you learned something with that, drop a 6 in the chat. And I still don't understand why okay, there it is. Now it came up. And this is what it shows like when you don't have the drivers. It's like this one isn't set up anymore. So I'm going to cancel that. And then we would come over here to, well, I wanted to see about the borderless printing, but the letter does have borders. But there's a lot of printers, like with my, with one of my Canons, I can't print borderless to 8.5 by 11. It defaults to like the regular size. I can only print, I'm not sure which one it is though. I can only print borderless on like photo sizes, 4x6, 4x6, 5x7, things of that nature. Okay, it prints side by side, no border on the sides, only a big border at the bottom of it. So when you go into print preview, is it showing that also? And okay, let me just ask a few clarifying questions. In Canva, you went to, so did you start off with a template, or did you start off with like you put in the measurements yourself? Did you start off with the template, or did you put the measurements in yourself? Because from here, we want to go in and go to custom size. You're going to change it from pixels to inches, and then you're going to type in 8.5 by 11. If it is a different size where it's a little bit longer, well, when you go, you saw how when it went on there, it will cut it off. So that's the only thing that I can think of. Like if you saved it as 8.5 by 11, when you go to print, what are you saving? Are you saving it as a JPEG? Are you saving it as a PNG? So I'm going to go to that JPEG, not PNG, a PDF. I'm going to go to the JPEG, right? So this is the JPEG, it's 8.5 by 11. I'm going to go to print. I'm going to go to here. We're going to go portrait. And we're going to go to, I don't even know if it will let me do this printer. We're going to go portrait. So see, my 8.5 by 11, it gives me a thin one on the side, thin one at the top, or a little bit thicker at the top and bottom, even though I'm set to a full page. So this is one of the ones where I cannot print borderless on 8.5 by 11. I'm set to full page and it doesn't. If I go 8 by 10, I got a big one there. If we go, let's see. Okay, I went full page, normal, uniform. Okay, that doesn't change much on this one. Fill to page, shrink to fit. That still gives me the sides there. Yeah, can't think of anything else other than how. Sorry, my iPad froze. It's not letting me hit the skip to get back to you where I was listening to. Oh no. And you're not even gonna hear it. Maybe I'll put the comment. You can't. You can't slide the little dot. Oh, you said, okay, you're back. Okay, there we go. YouTube rejected my comment. What the heck? All right, so I was asking, did you go from a template or did you go in and set the size yourself to 8.5 by 11? Anyone else that's watching, I would love to be able to answer questions about Canva, any issues you're having in Canva, so we can discover, is it a Canva issue or is it a knowledge gap for something else? But I want to help you guys. If you're stuck on a design, you can't figure something out, it won't fade, it won't erase, you remove background, everything goes away. Like whatever questions you have, I want to be able to help you today. Just drop your question and make sure that you like this video, tag someone, share it out, just to sort of support while you're, and to basically that's a thank you. Liking the video, possibly sharing it out is a way to say thank you for answering your question, okay? Okay, I set the size myself. I was printing a collage. So you went into Canva and you went to custom size. So yes or no. So when you made it yourself, you went here and you went to custom size, right? Are we tracking the same way right now? You changed from pixels to inches, correct? Does your collage have a white border around it? I'm not sure if you're on Facebook, if you want to send me an inbox message of what the screen looks like and what the printout looks like. This is one of the reasons why I love Zoom. I'm always having my Zoom session. We have pro calls, we have study hall sessions, and that's your opportunity to share your screen, turn your camera on, let me see what you have. We troubleshoot it together, everyone learns from it. This is why I encourage you guys to join our understanding Canva training, or either our, if you just want pro call sessions, join our creative lounge. Okay, so no. Wait, you says wait. Oh, that was yes, and then it says no. I'm guessing what? You're not on Facebook. Okay, so you can't send it to me there. All right. But okay, so you went to inches and then you type in 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11. All right, so if you're doing that, that part is cool. You're saving it as a JPEG, PNG, or PDF. What are you saving it as? I know you're on YouTube right now, but I'm saying, do you have a Facebook account to where you can send me a message? I know you're watching on YouTube right now. You don't have one. Okay, you don't have any other social media. All right, so the professor at HSINK. We won't probably be able to do it during this particular live, but if you want, you can always email me at theprofessor@hsinc365.com. Go ahead and send that screenshot, send an image of how it printed, and I can probably figure that out because it may also okay, let me ask this. When it happened, is it happening consistently? Did you try to print it again, or was it kind of okay, I printed this once, it came out really jacked up, I don't want to deal with this again? Or is this happening on a consistent basis where anything that you have that's 8.5 by 11, it's leaving a big border at the bottom? Also, was it a sharp cutoff or did it fade out? Okay, so if you're gonna send it from the phone, here's the number: 754-333-0335. If you wanna, if it's on your phone, you can send it that way. So this is happening all the time. Because I was gonna say maybe if it was, because that happens sometimes when there's a Wi-Fi error, and like if it loses connection with the Wi-Fi, it just kind of spits it out. Yeah, so definitely send me what it looks like, how it's printing out. Is it a sharp cutoff? Does it feather off? Things of that nature. Okay. All right. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions? Is there anything in particular that you guys would like to see designed? If you have no questions, what are some designs and concepts and things that you are interested, like design styles, not necessarily like for a specific thing, but just trying to figure out like maybe how to do certain types of designs that you saw. Let me know about those if you don't have any questions. Do certain types of designs. Uh-oh. Gold text effect. So, not sure like if you're referring to like a metallic type gold. When it comes to anything text, this is not like Silhouette Studio where you can just crop a golden background to text. the only way to do it is to have some type of frame. Now, there are apps where you can, so we're going to go to, like if I just type out, we're going to come down here, I'll just go title heading. Now, could you go and make a gradient that kind of looks sort of like gold? So let's say I'm just going to start here, and then I'm going to come back up and we're going to add in. So we're going to make this lighter, and then add another one. Oops, no, stop it. Dang it. Okay, I need to copy this color code. Copy. And we're going to paste this color code. And then we're going to add another one. And we're going to go like gray. And then you can literally keep doing this. So actually here, let's add in that gold color again, and then do another one, and that is gray. So it, like, that's really what like gold is. Like when you're making gradients, it's really a bunch of different tones. Like if I were to go into, so I know I keep having the default to Silhouette Studio, but if I come over here and I go to colors, I'm going to go to, no, I'm sorry, wrong one. I'm going to go to gradients. And you'll see that those, like there's different tones to kind of make this, it look like kind of a gold. If it is a gold texture that you want to fill in here, so I'll go to, well, that's not really gold. I thought I had one on here that was more gold. That's okay. We're going to still figure it out. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. So see, that would kind of create that gold effect, but I'm able to customize this and move things closer, spread it out, put darker colors. You cannot do that in Canva. It's going to be more of like a smoother one. You can't kind of, slide it and really make it look like gold. You would have to add a picture, like a texture, an image, but you cannot just simply add that to letters. So I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to go gold foil. All right, so we have this. So it's like a gold foil look. It's never going to go into the letters. You would have to go back into elements. Well, in order to use this, I'll say you, but like, for anyone, you're going to go into elements. You have to go to frames. I'm going to type in C frame so I can get, I want the letter C, but why is it not? Oh, I'm already in frames. Duh. I just need to put the letter C. There we go. So I'm going to go and grab a C. And then I'm going to come back to elements and I'm going to go here. Let's see, this doesn't have a collection. So now I'm just going to go R. So I would have to do each letter, make sure that they're sized, and then move this into, oh, this was a graphic. I picked the wrong one. Hold on. Let's go back to elements. Gold foil. Oh, that was a graphic. So that lets you know you cannot put graphics inside of frames. These are those little things that you have to know when navigating through Canva. Okay. Will I ever consider doing a CapCut class? I don't even use CapCut, so I couldn't do a CapCut class. I have other programs that I design. I mean, I do editing with, so I've never really had to do the CapCut. And you also can edit videos right in Canva. All right, so let's say we did this one, and then we're going to plus sign. And then we're going to drop this in. So that's kind of how you would kind of get that gold look by putting those textures in. But of course, we don't want to do one by one by one. This is where you go into the apps, and we're going to go text frame. So it's text to frames. And I could have sworn I've done this one already. Maybe I've used a different one. So now you're going to put in, I'm going to type in create. And then let's choose a nice thick font, which on here you can't even tell what the fonts are. Oh, great. That sucks. All of these are just regular schmeck. And I know I have one that's a lot different than this, but that's okay. All right, we're just going to add this to the design. This isn't the text frames one that I use, but now you have that one. I'm just going to disconnect or detach this one. You drop it in and see now it'll fill it in, but it has to be frames. In order for you to apply any type of image, to be able to get that type of, foil effect, you have to have it as frames, whether it's through an app or you're going to pull in the individual letters for whatever fonts they have, because you are limited on the types of fonts they have, and you're going to have to arrange them yourself. See, but that's the only way that you can do it. So by asking about gold text, you cannot create gold text in Canva unless it's a frame. You're very welcome. Okay, so she did send an image. But on this, you do have space on the sides. I'm looking at this image and I see white around the sides. So it never printed borderless. This looks more like maybe Fit to Page was done. Because I definitely see white around the side. Yes, it has this thing in the middle, but it looks like it shrunk down to be able to fit that size. I needed to see but she's gone. I was gonna say I needed to see the design page to see how that was set up. But you do have a border. So it wasn't printed borderless. There is a border around it. Yes, it gave you a large border at the bottom, but the way that this is, I'm really thinking that this had to do with the way that the original image was set up. Yeah. All right, so we have no other questions. Everybody else is solid. And see how she asks that question? And she says, wow, I know I asked about gold text, but I didn't know there were frame letters. When you are asking questions or you're like, this is how you discover things. The fact that she did not even know that they're like, people think frames and it's like, oh, it's just the regular frames. A lot of people, I know one thing, that is not the frame one that I use. Which I've used a letter one. Is it TextMaker? I've used a different one. Oh, is it this one? No, it's not that one. I've used a different one because I know I had a few more options when it came to letters. I don't think it's AI. Yeah, it's not that one. But anywho, I'll probably, if I go, oh wait, where is, I just saw something. I think it's that one. Where did it go? Where'd you go? I just saw. Okay, this is the one that I have used before. Okay, I know it definitely looks different. So it's called font frame altogether. Because I was like, I know I've had better options for this. Now, when it comes to this one, however, you saw how we created the frame, it put the frame on the screen, and you can put anything from the uploads in there. Well, this doesn't necessarily do that. Like you have to choose an image and then it's going to fill out that area. So like even if I add this to design, you delete it, it's just going to delete the whole thing. You wouldn't be able, it's like it doesn't still operate like a frame where you can just go and drop it in. You have to choose the file and then actually, you know what? I lied. Selected image. Boom. There we go. Use selected image. That's how you'll do it. But it doesn't give you a frame. That's the part. It doesn't give you a frame that you can drag and drop, but you can select because you have to have it open on screen and it will fill it in. And now you can add that to the design, but it's not allowing you to just drop into it. Like these, you drop it into the frame. This creates a frame, but you are filling it in. And anytime you want to adjust it, you have to come back here. So we'll just go create and then add to design. Okay. So that's how you would do that. And I recommend like trimming it down because it does put a lot of extra space on it. But that's how you'll do that. If you want to have a letter, like something with like a frame with letters with a design or image on the inside. And then of course, like here, you can't do stuff like your shadows and like all that stuff. You would have to save it, bring it back in and do shadows. But when it comes to the outline, you can do basically none. And then we're going to add it to design. So see, you don't have any outline on it. You can add your own, go in and eventually add your own shadows, things of that nature, just not through here. So that's how you would do gold text if you're wanting gold text, is to use one of the apps. All right. So by clicking on something that says, let's talk Canva, what were your expectations? When you came on, you were excited to come on this to potentially learn about what? Did y'all come on because you wanted to learn about money makers, how to make some money with Canva? Okay, so you thought more of like an overview. Have you seen my other overview one? So with needing, like you want it to be an overview, is there anything that you feel like you are maybe missing, in Canva? We've actually done a few overviews before, quite a few overviews. And I thought about it originally, but most of the people who commented and said, like, when I asked, are you using Canva? Have you ever, like, you have it downloaded, but you don't really use it or never used it? almost everyone that answered said a 1. So in that, I assume that maybe you just kind of have issues, but you know how to navigate Canva. You know everything that is there. Now, like that one came because you had a specific question. There's so many layers to this. We are teaching Canva over 10 different sessions. When I did like my one over, like, well, not say one, but like I did an overview, which was available, but even in our class, and I was kind of going through it, one session was 4 hours. Another session was like 2 hours. So it's a lot. I couldn't really do like a full, outline of it in this setting. And there's so many nuances. The part that surface level, you're going to see that in any video or tutorial. I want you guys to discover what else is there, but I need to know what it is that you're doing, but something else that you want to do. You wish that you could do X, Y, and Z. Like I've been in here, I was trying to design, I wanted to have some gold letters. I didn't know how to do it. Now that allowed me to show you that there are letter frames. The more that you are engaging and you are communicating with the instructor, the more that you're going to get out of it, especially when it's free, child. I have learned something from all of these. Jaws are always dropped. All right. All right. So I'm going to hop out of here. Thank you guys for your time. Maybe next time we'll have a few more questions and ways that I can help you. If you are just simply looking for an overview or you just want to learn Canva, like you don't know what you don't know, you want to know everything that it has to offer, I highly recommend our Understanding Canva training. I'm about to actually upload the next couple of sessions. Oh, I didn't put session 7 on here unless it's in draft. So I have to upload session 7 and 8. As you can see, like there's multiple sections to this. So we break up the sections. If you want to kind of skip ahead to some things, you also have playbacks from when we first did like the full on class. You'll be able to watch those playbacks. So that's available for you, but we are going through it step by step. As you can see, we've gone over saving, we've gone over templates, how to bulk create. We went over the things that Canva can't do so that you're not wasting time on that. We've gone over all of the options within the Magic Studio. You do have to have Pro or the business version in order to do that. Finding elements, session 7 was all about text and fonts. We started to get into color changing today and a little bit like understanding like design stuff, but it was like about changing colors and things of that nature. And then we'll have session 9, 10, where we're going to go over some more of the basics. We're going to go over animations and transitions. Some of the, not quite design stuff like the, what's that thing called? Like the docs and sheets. Then we're going to start to design based off of everything that we have learned with animation, transitions. We're going to start to do some videos. I edit videos all the time in Canva. So we're going to go through some video editing. We're going to create some designs and some animations for sessions 11, 12, and 13. So you don't want to miss that. I dropped the link in the chat. All right. There we go. So definitely check it out. The way that it is structured, we have there are several. I'm going to click on, is it here to see it? Okay, no, let's go back to dashboard because I'm already logged in. So I have to click. It's going to keep going to my dashboard. I think I have to go to, I got to do it like that. Okay, there we go. So there are a couple different options. You can do a 7-day test run just so that you can see what's in there. If you're able to get through all the lessons in 7 days, hey, you can go. You just won't have anything else to review, but that is $13.65. You can go in and do the 2 month, every 2 weeks, it's $15.63 because we have all of these sessions left. So you'll have access to those. You'll also have access to the study hall sessions that will take place for the 3 months after session 13. We have 3 more months, and then there'll be some study hall sessions in there. Or you can do a full 6-month access, 163.65. If you want to use buy now, pay later, such as Klarna, Afterpay, or Affirm, it's 173.65. So you'll select that and then choose your buy now, pay later option. But those are all the ways that you can enroll in the training. Again, try 7 days. If you've never really been in my training, you don't know, you feel like you have been burned by people's classes. I really don't want to try another class again. I don't want to give up $163 and this doesn't work for me. Do the 7-day test run for $13.65. Check out the tutorial, check out all the lessons and the trainings in there. And then after that 7 days, you can make a decision on how you want to enroll, doing that every 2 weeks, or you want to go ahead and get the full 6 months of access for $163. All right. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.